Welcome back to Close Up. As America pays tribute this holiday weekend to its fallen heroes, there's one New Hampshire organization taking that sentiment a step further. The Children of the Fallen Patriots Foundation provides scholarships to the children and close relatives of servicemen who made the ultimate sacrifice. Here to discuss the program are Gold Star mother Natalie Healy. Thank you for joining us. And Dave Tilley, who sits on the advisory board of the group here in New Hampshire. Thanks for being with us today. First off, Natalie, in the spirit of this weekend, tell us a little bit, for those who don't know, about your son, Dan Healy, who served as a Navy SEAL in Afghanistan.
Oh, definitely. Well, Dan was born and bred in New Hampshire. He grew up in Exeter and graduated from Exeter High School in 1986. And he was an electrician for a while. And then when the housing industry took a dive here, a friend of his who they'd been childhood friends was in the Navy in Bremerton, Washington, and said that there was a vital housing industry out there, so he went out there, and lo and behold, within 4 months he was calling me saying he was joining the Navy. Wow. And so he basically did it to be able to get his college education because he thought that was worthwhile. So at any rate, he decided that he was going to go into BUD/S, and he's
become a SEAL.
Become a SEAL, and he was going to challenge himself. Actually, he called me and told me that he was going to do that. I said, "Well, that's great, Dan, but why are you doing that?" "Well, because I don't want to be on a ship for 6 months." I said, "Well, shouldn't you have thought of that before you joined the Navy?" And he said, "Yeah, and I also want to challenge myself." So he did. He was in the Navy SEALs for 15 years. Wow. Before he got deployed to Afghanistan, and they were there from March 2005, and then on June 28th he was in a rescue helicopter to help 4 of his men who were on a mountain and had been fighting the Taliban. And as they approached the battle, they were getting ready to rope down, and an RPG was shot right through the hatch, and they were instantly gone. And one thing, he didn't have to go on that rescue, but he said, "Those are my men, and my face will be the first one they'll see." And it probably was, but not on this earth. And that's the type of man he was, very selfless. He was a born leader, and he was a big brother, and that's how he was all his life.
Certainly the ultimate sacrifice for him. It's a day that changed your family's life forever as well. There's the other side of that story, that there's family. What is this experience like as a mother, and then for the Healy family as well?
Well, first, it's devastating, as you can well imagine, and it takes a while, of course, to come to terms with it. And actually, it's been 12 years coming up, and it doesn't get easier. It just gets different. You have different ways of coping. And as a matter of fact, I was at an event this morning, and it really moved me and touched me. And because I honor Dan and the other fallen of New Hampshire. And sometimes things hit you, or somebody says something, you see it, little boy, and it just hits you. And you know, and then you are concerned what's going to happen to his children and things like that. And so it's been a process that this family has gone through with amazing experiences, meeting amazing people. And the word amazing is kind of thrown around a little too much, but it kind of fits in this situation. We've been blessed. We would give anything to have Dan back in a minute, but along the way in the last 12 years, our family's been very blessed with the people that have entered our lives.
We thank you so much for your family's sacrifice. And segueing a little bit here, this is a family that has received help, but the Children of Fallen Patriots Foundation wants to find families like the Healys to be able to reach out and help them. What exactly does the foundation do, Dave?
That's correct. The Children of Fallen Patriots Foundation was created by a West Point grad, David Kim, and his wife Cynthia, when they lost a friend in the line of duty who had yet an unborn child at that time, and they were wondering how are they going to be able to take care of their family and that child. And so they created the Children of Fallen Patriots Foundation over 10 years ago, and it provides scholarships for children that so that they can go on to college, so that they can we could honor their parents that gave the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. And the Children of Fallen Patriots Foundation, they provide also loan repayment. It's $6,250 per year, so it's a substantial amount of funds. that it provides, and it can be used also, for student loan debt.
And Natalie, your family has been able to access some of the help here. Explain how the foundation's helped.
Absolutely. Well, first I'm going to tell a quick story, if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
In March, we went out to Hawaii because they had a race honoring Dan from the building that they named after him. It's the Dan Healy Communications Center. And when we came home, a friend of mine, Marguerite, came down from the Lakes region with a full page torn out from the Weir's Times because it had my grandson's picture on it. And it said something about, the headline was about children of fallen patriots. And I go, I wonder what that's about. Why is Jacob's picture in there? So I set it aside into my get-to-it pile and didn't get to it for a couple of weeks. And a friend called, Ann Smith, and I hadn't talked to her for a long time. And I said, what are you doing now? She goes, oh, I'm working for Children of the Fallen Patriots in New Hampshire. So like, bingo. Okay, that explains that.
Yeah.
And it turns out that Dave is the one who put in the news release, and he just happened to pick that picture out of all the pictures and had no idea that it was my grandson.
We didn't know it was Natalie's grandson that was actually in the photo.
So we know
in the Weir's Times.
And he is one of Danny's children. Then Chelsea and Jasmine, who have benefited from organizations like Children of the Fallen Patriots, and Jake, when he graduated from UCSD with a degree in architecture, he went to work for the organization for about a year.
And so it's not just scholarships, there's money for books, there's a lot of help that comes with this.
Oh, travel, laptops. These things are so important because it's one thing to have the money for tuition, which is such a blessing, but then all those other expenses add up, and some families can't really do that, and ours is one of them. I mean, we needed the help, and grateful for what Dave's organization and all the others have done that have helped.
And Governor Sununu recently declared Children of Fallen Patriots Day. It was interesting to learn that you guys are having a hard time actually finding people because there's no database, there's no central location to know where all of these children are, essentially.
That's correct. It's estimated that there's 20,000 children that are impacted that lost a mother or father in the line of military service, and that could include killed in action, suicide, and also service-connected deaths, all of it's determined by the VA. And right now, Children of Fallen Patriots Foundation has helped over 800 of those kids. And really, we're just trying to, get awareness out that this scholarship funds and these resources are available. And as Natalie mentioned, the organization not just helps with funding, but excuse me, they provided scholarship funds of the $6,250 per year, but also went back and took care of everyone's student loan debt of those 800 plus children.
And Natalie, what does this mean to have this kind of support? I mean, obviously there is a moral support that comes with this. There are so many people that stand with you, but to be able to have something tangible there too that is of financial assistance.
Extremely important. I have to say that Dan's dream for his children is brought to fruition through organizations like Children of the Fallen Patriots, because he wanted his children to be college educated. And the fact that they are able to is just a gift to the family, and it'll change their lives forever. And that means the world to us.
And Dave, what can people do if they want to reach out and help your foundation?
Actually, they can go on to fallenpatriots.org. That's the official website. They can also reach out to me personally. I can give out my number if you'd like. But it's 603-496-0987. We're actually going to be speaking before the VFW convention, and the Daughters of, we've spoke before the Daughters of the American Revolution. They're helping us reach out to folks in the schools. We're also addressing legion halls and what have you.
Really a lot of outreach, and certainly this is the time of year where we need to, we're always keeping this in our hearts and minds. But Natalie, what is your message to the people of the Granite State on this Memorial Day weekend?
Well, first of all, I want everybody to know that every day for our family is Memorial Day, and it just fills our hearts with such pride and joy when we see other people remembering our boys and girls. But the Healy family definitely appreciates everything that has been done for them throughout the years by the people of New Hampshire and the people of the United States. It's been such a blessing, and we're grateful.
And when you remember Dan, what do you like to remember most about your son?
Playing trivia with him, because we're both pretty competitive.
That's what they say about those SEALs. These are the most competitive men on earth, and they probably get it from their mom.
Well, we don't know about that, but we used to love to do that, and the fact that he was kind, and that's such such an important virtue to have. And even though I know he was tough on the teams, and he had to be, especially as he got up in rank, but I know basically from different instances that he was very kind and obviously courageous. And that we're proud of, and we're blessed with that.
Yeah. Well, we thank you for your work, your advocacy, and we are grateful beyond words for the Americans like Dan Healy who are willing to lay down their lives for our country and our freedom. And hopefully more people can check out the Children of Fallen Patriots Foundation and get some help to their families.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you so much,
It was a pleasure being here.
Natalie and Dave, we appreciate it.
Thank you.